Hello, you're watching News Mongolia on MNB World, and I'm your host, Jargalma Tushinjargal. On the News Mongolia today, Mongolia forms a new government with 19 ministers. Judiciary digitalization enhances accessibility and judicial independence. Peer bullying is now increasingly taking place in the digital space, manifesting through insults, criticism, and online shaming. For the news, stay tuned. Mongolia's new cabinet has officially taken office on June 17th. Prime Minister Judicial presented his ministerial nominees to the State Great Khural. Following a session of questions and discussions, the newly appointed members were sworn in. The government now includes 19 ministers across 16 ministries, with several new faces and a few returning members. On June 17, 2025, the Prime Minister of Mongolia, Judicial, formally submitted his nominations for government ministers to the State Great Khural. Under Article 39, Section 4 of the Constitution, the appointment, resignation of government members must be initiated by the Prime Minister, presented to both the State Great Khural and the President, and finalized through an oath of office taken before Parliament. Following a plenary session that included questions and remarks from members of Parliament, the newly proposed ministers officially took their oath of office. The new cabinet consists of 19 ministers across 16 ministries. Of the total, 10 ministers are continuing in their roles, while 9 are new appointments. The government lineup has 16 ministers from the Mongolian People's Party, 2 from the National Labour Party or HUM Party, and 1 from the Civil Will Green Party. The newly appointed ministers are as follows. Ochral Nimasar, First Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of the Economy and Development. Dorchand Togmit, Deputy Prime Minister. Amarsakhan Samboyan, Deputy Prime Minister. Byomtsogt Sandak, Minister and Chief Cabinet Secretary. Batitsig Batmukh, Minister of Foreign Affairs. Jahlam Bol, Minister of Finance. Muhwatar Tawag, Minister of Justice and Internal Affairs. Demdanyam Kongor, Minister of Industry and Mineral Resources. Batlot Damp, Minister of Defense. Batbatar Bat, Minister of Environment and Climate Change. Narambayar Purupsurung, Minister of Education. Aubakir Tilyukhan, Minister of Family, Labor and Social Protection. Dilirsakham Borkhu, Minister of Roads and Transport. Undrum Chimbat, Minister of Culture, Sports, Tourism and Youth. Batamatlang Inktavan, Minister of Urban Development, Construction and Housing. Inkbayar Jadamp, Minister of Food, Agriculture and Light Industry. Batshogar Inkbayar, Minister of Digital Development, Innovation and Communications. Chojasurum Battoktok, Minister of Energy. Chimburang Jigjitsurang, Minister of Health.
At the time of achievements, lessons learned, and challenges, we should work smarter, more rightfully, and more productively. Therefore, I would like to ask all of you, members of the government, to work together with one heart for the sake of our country and people, being in favor of harmony and unity, as well as prioritizing consensus and mutual understanding.
As part of the new structure, several national committees, including those overseeing monitoring and evaluation, port revival, and the 20-minute city initiative, have been dissolved, and the ministerial roles associated with them have been discontinued. Mongolia is advancing its judicial digitalization efforts to improve public access to justice and strengthen judicial independence. The US-backed Open World program held its first alumni conference in Ulaanbaatar, bringing legal experts together to discuss the role of technology and artificial intelligence in modernizing court systems and reinforcing democratic governance. Digitalizing certain aspects of judicial operations is expected to significantly improve public accessibility. The Open World program, initiated by the U.S. Congressional Office for International Leadership, is being implemented in Mongolia. The program's first alumni conference is currently taking place in Ulaanbaatar under the theme Judicial Independence and Digitalization.
So why is this important? I think for Mongolia, as the judiciary becomes more independent, people become more confident in not only the judiciary and judicial decisions, but also their government as a whole. And having a judiciary and a judicial system that is predictable and trustworthy is really important for things like foreign investment, to attract tourists here. So people know that their investments are safe, that they're safe when they come here and visit Mongolia. So we're proud to be working with Mongolia on this, and I think the United States can also learn a lot from Mongolia's best practices.
Legal provisions now exist that allow electronic case files and documentation to be used with special procedures in civil court proceedings with small claims. However, because technological development has not kept pace, we are facing practical challenges and difficulties with implementation. Digitizing court process is expected to reduce bureaucratic burdens and increase public access to justice. Minimizing human involvement with technology could also contribute to strengthening judicial independence. This is one reason why countries around the world are exploring opportunities to digitize judicial systems. Conference participants emphasized the potential for artificial intelligence to reduce workloads and streamline operations, while also highlighting the need to address cybersecurity issues at both the technical level and through robust legal frameworks.
The assignment of cases must be based on a random selection process. If outsiders can interfere, influence, or manipulate this process, judicial independence and the country's autonomy are compromised. Therefore, productive measures must be established in conjunction with digital reforms to ensure the judiciary remains independent and autonomous.
The Open World program, implemented in 25 countries across Eurasia and the Indo-Pacific, fosters mutual understanding and professional exchange between Americans and global partners. Since its launch in Mongolia in 2013, 79 judges and 134 professionals from various sectors have participated. The program plays a vital role in strengthening U.S.-Mongolia bilateral relations by offering extensive insights into democratic principles and governance. It also contributes to enhancing legislative and judicial systems through knowledge sharing and professional collaboration. Online bullying is surging among Mongolian teens, with 87% of children on social media facing harassment, often unnoticed by parents, as insults and shaming spread rapidly through digital platforms like Facebook and anonymous apps. In Mongolia, 84% of the population and 77% of rural residents use Facebook. This highlights the high level of digital activity in the country. Not only adults, but also children are active on social media. According to a survey, 50% of children aged 7 to 12 and 77% of those aged 13 to 18 use Facebook. Among all children using social media, 87% have experienced some form of online attack. Over the past 5 years, digital usage, particularly among adolescents, has sharply increased. Students in middle and high school have begun using social networks to publicly insult or shame one another, often judging each other based on physical appearance, inflicting psychological pressure to the point of affecting mental well-being. Although they know such behavior is wrong, bullying continues to occur in subtle, often hidden forms even today.
Although they're not physically hitting each other, when someone targets another's emotions and mental well-being, it's terrifying. It's hard for children. These days, it's become so easy to open your phone and start insulting someone just like that. Everyone knows bullying is bad, but when others see someone being bullied and nothing happens, they start thinking it's okay. That's when they go, well, if they can do it, so can I. That's where the behavior stems from, I think.
91% of parents who are supposed to be responsible for monitoring their children believe their children have not been subjected to online attacks. This statistic clearly shows that most parents are not adequately monitoring their children's activity on social media.
Honestly, it hurts. Whether it's within a group of friends or not, some people are just so harsh with each other. Then others use a child's or someone's photo for bad reasons. Things like that keep happening a lot on Facebook.
Behind these subtle forms of bullying are serious consequences. Children who are excluded may fall into depression, become disengaged from school, and be socially isolated. Over time, this can escalate to the point where they transfer schools or face emotional crises that may lead to harmful decisions. Teachers report that in recent years, students have begun using apps like NGL to blatantly bully one another. NGL, Secret Me, or some other similar anonymous link apps, they often post those on their stories. The point is that you can send messages anonymously, no one knows who wrote that. And through these secret accounts, they sometimes insult each other, like that class or that person they go off. Teenagers tend to follow the crowd rather than make clear judgments about what is right or wrong. Psychologists warn that if a young person is experiencing emotional distress and cannot find the proper way to cope, there is a high risk they might make poor decisions.
When the ability to make conscious decisions gets lost and they start acting impulsively, engaging in risky behaviors without thinking, it can lead to sudden mood swings, outbursts of anger, unexpected excitement, or even hurting others emotionally.
Sources emphasize that the participation of parents and teachers is crucial in managing bullying, whether it happens openly or in subtle, hidden forms. It is necessary for parents to monitor and guide their children where they are, what they are doing, and who they are interacting and socializing with. Thank you for staying with us. Here are the currency exchange rates provided by Mongol Bank. Now let's take a look at weather forecast for Mongolia and world major cities. Alright, that's all for today. Thank you for staying with us. We will see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Goodbye.